In this video, I'm gonna be going through why raising chickens is much easier than you think. And stay tuned till the end because I will go through my easy chicken routine. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Did you ever want to get chickens but thought it was too much trouble? Did the thought of housing them, feeding them, and cleaning the coop put you off? There's no denying that some work is attached to keeping chickens, but it's nowhere near as bad as you think. Once you have your coop set up and the ladies have moved in, you can begin to organize your routine. Having a set routine will help you keep the chores under control and minimize time spent doing them, and can make raising chickens much easier. So let's dive into some of the reasons why raising chickens is easier than you may think. The first point, the hen morning and evening routines. Most people are rushed in the morning, getting ready for work, getting the kids off to school, so it's likely you don't have much time to spend with the hens. The morning chicken routine will consist of opening up the coop at daybreak, checking feed and water, and a little chicken talk to the girls. To save time, you can fill a plastic jar with the feed the night before and then empty this into their coop each morning. The evening routine is much of the same except for the egg collection. This is just about everyone's favorite part of chicken keeping. Collecting those freshly laid treasures is always fun. Several of my friends will come home from work and go and spend a little time with the ladies. They say this is the best form of stress relief, and I, would tend to agree. That is the bare minimum of caring for chickens. There are, of course, other tasks that need to be done every week at least. As with most things, the more chickens you have, the more time consuming it can be. The next one on the list is opening and closing the coop. You need to open and close the coop every morning and night without fail. Otherwise, you may be providing free chicken dinners to the local predators. Many people have an automatic coop door, which opens and closes the coop door at a time preset by you. In addition, some models run on electric, battery, and or solar power. As long as your birds are safely in the coop when it shuts, it's a great idea. All the testimonials I have read about these devices are very complimentary. Of course, if you are fairly handy, you could make something similar yourself. You would have to decide whether or not it fits with you and your birds. All right, the next one on the list is feeding your hens. A hen can average half a cup to 1 cup of food per day. So depending on how many birds you have, it's easy to get a large feeder that will last for a couple of days. Inventive people have made tube feeders out of PVC piping. These feeders take up very little room and can be topped off without bending over or lifting the feeder. If you have problems with your back or lifting and turning, this would be an excellent idea to use in your coop. If you choose to use the store-bought hanging feeders, always buy large enough for 2 or 3 days of feed for the hens. This will cut down on your labor, but you should make sure that no feed is left on the ground at night, as this will definitely attract pests. The next reason on the list is egg collection. Yes, you have to collect your chicken's eggs, as if you're upset about that, right? But if it's not a top priority for you, uncollected eggs can pile up. You must collect your hen's eggs at least once a day, if not twice, depending on how many chickens you have and how often they lay eggs. The best thing you can do to make your life a tad bit easier is to collect twice a day, when you open the coop up in the morning and once at night when you tuck your chickens in. I won't lie, it can be stressful to collect a ton of eggs at once and ensure none of them break. So when you do collect, use fun collection aids like aprons, baskets, or tubs, making the experience fun and easier for yourself, and don't forget to enjoy your eggs. The next reason why it's easier than you think is chicken waterers. Fresh, clean water is a must for your birds. Dehydration in hens will stop them from laying eggs for a period of time. A hen can drink around a pint a day, even more in hot weather. There will also be some spillage from hens bumping into the hanging drinker. If you are a plumbing whiz, you could set up a watering system with PVC pipe, chicken nipples, and a flotation shutoff. This would ensure a continuous supply of water. This kind of item already exists and can be bought at your local feed store, but I'm not sure that this would function very well in cold temperatures. The biggest drawback in leaving water for several days is that it may become slimy and start growing bacteria. An easy solution to this is to add apple cider vinegar to the water. The ratio is 1 tablespoon to a gallon of water. Next one on the list is chicken droppings, more colloquially known as poop. Chickens do a lot of this, especially when they are roosting at night. Now, what can you do about this? Well, you can't stop them from pooping, so you have to make the removal of this byproduct as easy as possible. Most people use a dropping board. This can be anything from wood, mesh, or plastic trays. The idea is to catch the poop on a removal tray. You can then empty the trays as frequently as you need to. Everyone has a different idea of what to use. I have used old industrial baking sheets. They're durable and they won't bend or break and can be hosed down pretty easily. The area around the trays can get mucky too, so in the past when I've used trays, I would clean it up and sprinkle it with insecticidal powder. The next reason it's easier to keep chickens is easy chicken bedding. Straw, shavings, shredded paper. There's so many types of bedding for chickens. It really boils down to what your personal preference is and the cost. Straw is the cheapest but can be messy to clean up, but if you have allergies, this is probably not a good choice for you. The easiest choice is pine shavings. They are very nice to work with, and if you have a small coop, they're reasonably cost effective. They are easy to shovel up with a dustpan and brush, making them a good fit for easy cleanup. Shredded papers is very environmentally friendly, but I found that it's not very absorbent and it sticks to the eggs and is generally a bit of a pain to deal with. So some opt to use the deep litter method for bedding their chickens, especially in the winter. This is a way to help keep the coop insulated and cut back on coop cleaning. The deep litter methods combine chicken waste and bedding material and create a composted base over time. Basically, more bedding is continuously added for a set amount of time, and then everything is cleaned all at once. The composted litter can be used as fertilizer in gardens and for landscaping. And as a bonus to the chickens, deep litter provides insulation from the frozen ground during the cold winter months and maybe even a little natural heat. The next one is exercise. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the hens. If you have an extended run attached to the coop, that's great. However, if there's only a tiny area with the coop, it would be nice for the ladies to stretch their legs once in a while. You can provide them with all manner of things to keep them busy: perches at different heights, chicken swings, old logs to peck at, treat dispensers. The idea is to keep them physically and mentally active. Like humans, if birds have a sedentary lifestyle, they will tend towards obesity, which isn't healthy. I've discussed in articles previously on how bored chickens can have some very antisocial habits, so you need to keep them busy. And if you want to learn more about how to prevent this from happening, we have an article on that, and I'll link to that in the description. The key point to remember is that once you've set their exercise park up, you can leave them to it. Now let's talk about the seasonal stuff. Twice a year, you should do a major cleanup of your coop. This really can't be avoided. It consists of tossing out the old bedding and spraying down the floor and walls with the disinfectant. Once it has dried, you may put down new bedding and nesting materials. If you have a flock of 6 chickens, this really shouldn't take too much of your time at morning at most. If you employ some or all of these labor-saving devices and ideas, the amount of time your chickens require for actual care is pretty minimal, and they're incredibly hardy and don't really need much human involvement. The humble hen doesn't need yearly visits to the vet's office. And lastly, why it would be easier is also using my easy chicken routine. But before I get into that, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also subscribe to our website, thehappychickencoop.com. If you subscribe using the link in the description, you'll receive a free ebook on the 10 best egg-laying chicken breeds. All right, so my flock is around 4 birds. Our routine is to let them out to pasture around daybreak, then go back to bed for a couple of hours. When I visit with them later in the morning, it's time to top up the water and see how they're doing that day and collect any eggs. I will visit them again in the later afternoon to collect more eggs and have a chat with the girls and check on the feeders. They are all either roosted or waiting for me to come and put them to bed at sundown. So this evening, a check is a head count and locking the coops up securely. Each of these visits can be pretty much 10 minutes in duration, so it really isn't that time consuming. If you like this video, be sure to check out this one over here. That's going to do it for us at the Happy Chicken Coop. Thanks for listening. If you find our content interesting, if you learned something new, be sure to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.